Welcome everyone to our latest version of Agile Takes. We take a few minutes every week to talk about the latest going on in cybersecurity, from ransomware to the skills shortage to how do we just get better in terms of remediation and hardening our platforms. Today's a very special day for us. The Honorable Chris Pierce, the managing partner of DB Results in Melbourne, Australia, has been kind enough to join us today. Chris, welcome, and thank you so much for taking time to do this.
Great to see you, Tony. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We appreciate it. Let's dive in. So, this year, companies of all sizes all over the world have been, they've been hit with cyber attacks. We've seen consistent ones, ransomware ones, unique ones all over the place. Small and mid-sized businesses are usually impacted more by the incidents just because of the lack of resources and, how they scramble from time to time. Given the experience you have, especially in your markets, how can these size organizations more successfully, build a remediation strategy if they experience a cyber attack and still have some of the challenges they have with resources?
Yeah, it's a great question, Tony, and you're right. And we're finding this more and more and more, of course, as cyber attackers become more sophisticated in their approach. And I guess, for want of a better term, clever at what they do. So I think there are a couple of key things that businesses can do. I think the first thing is to actually perform and undertake, if you like, a baseline risk assessment. I think to actually take the opportunity to step back and to have a look at their IT environment and to actually perform a risk assessment and, if you like, almost an audit of what's there now, what do they have by any form ways of protection, and where the gaps are. And I think that's the baseline, if you like. I think from there, then I think identifying the gaps gives them the opportunity, and we've seen this through our experience, to look at solutions to fill those gaps. And we find, and the customers that we talk to are very keen to look at those solutions that provide the continuous monitoring, that provide that extra set of eyes, if you like. And of course, that's where a solution as great as Agile Blue really fits in well with the Security Operations Center as a service solution, because it provides that continuous monitoring. I think the next thing that they really need to do is to take a very active approach to eliminating any vulnerabilities and any weaknesses that they have across their IT environment. So identify all those gaps, identify solutions for it. I think importantly, having done that, then there's the aspect about training everybody across the business in best practice cybersecurity. And so it's not good enough just to put a solution in. The way that the company operates, its systems and processes need to be best practice. And, if you like, need to become part of the DNA of the business. And then I think, having done those things, they have to actually have a loop back again and start the whole process again. I think building a cybersecurity remediation strategy is not just a start here and stop here, if you like. It's a circular activity. And so it's a matter of making it the normal. This is what we do in our business. We just don't look at it once. We look at it continually.
Absolutely. You brought up a good word, the word clever. I mean, that is a fantastic word. And you look at small and mid-sized businesses, and they rely on companies like DB to bring in that outside expertise and perspective, and they trust you, but they themselves remain, somewhat, mid-sized, small. It's tremendous because you're trying to stay a step ahead, but that's a business. Their business is to take things from you and make money. And your business, meaning not DB's, but your customer, might be in healthcare, financial services. And here you're trying to fight a business. So it's a fantastic thing. And that leads me to my second question then. When you think about these companies, and they, trying to feel prepared when it comes to cybersecurity initiatives and plans and the incident response plans, especially with their current strategy. And some folks might not have the most fleshed out strategy. What skills gaps do you normally see? Especially when on the mid and small size, companies, where are they struggling the most from the skills and getting that expertise?
I think there's a whole range of areas that we see it right through, if you like, starting from just the staff education and training and awareness level, the skills and capabilities to be able to do that. And so we've got customers that talk to us about, are we able to help them educate and make their staff aware of what's happening in cybersecurity. I think there's also gaps that we've identified in these size organisations in terms of having the resource to help them actually develop the strategy, to think outside the box, to be able to step back from their actual day-to-day business. And so, the advisory function of being able to come in and have a very clean, clear, objective look at what exists in the business is something that these companies don't have. So they look to firms like DB Results to be able to bring in that expertise to help them have that clean and objective view. I think the other thing is about the skills gap for all these size organisations to understand, Tony, that they have a job to do in their own IT environment. Back to your point about these cyber criminals, these clever people, if they can't get at you as a standalone, they'll try and get at you through your partners and your providers. And so it's understanding all of those things and having the capabilities and the expertise to be able to review that. And these companies regrettably don't have a lot of that. And I guess that's where companies like DB Results, in partnership with Agile Blue, can really come in and provide a really value add to our clients.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. When you think about, whatever business is that you're consulting, their cybersecurity folks tend to see things happening there. DB Results brings the objective because you're seeing things in financial services or healthcare or manufacturing. So you're not only able to bring in a fresh perspective, but you also see things that have worked in places and things that haven't worked in places. So you can really put a best practice together. And, it's striking when you look at when attacks happen. A lot of folks think they always happen at 2 a.m. when, no one's watching, or, if you're using a SOC, a 24/7 SOC, then someone's always watching. But a lot of companies don't have that yet. Actually, when you look at the statistics, a lot of the breaches are happening because someone's negligent, and people generally work between, whatever your local time zone is, between 8 and 6. That's when somebody's doing the clicking, letting the bad guys in. Now, they might not start infiltrating until later at night when people are gone, but generally the bad things happen. And, you mentioned training. The training is the biggest key. When you guys, we're starting to wrap up here, but when you guys look at companies, give me an example, maybe a percentage. This should be interesting. How many companies actually have a corporate training program that is, spans, continuous, not just once a year, maybe once in a while? What percentage do you think it is?
I think it's very low, and the answer is not enough.
Right. Yeah, I would agree.
Not enough. But I do think, Tony, it is increasing.
Yes, it's growing, but there's a lot more work to be done. Well, Chris, this has been an excellent Agile Takes. This conversation has been fantastic. I think a lot of businesses will get some good stuff out of this. Really appreciate you joining me. Is there anything you'd like to wrap up with?
Tony, it's great to be with you. I think a combination of DB Results and Agile Blue is a great combination. We bring the best of class together from an advisory, consulting, and a cyber solution perspective. You lock those together, it's a great combination, and it really brings great value to clients.
Absolutely. Chris, thank you so much for joining me. This has been extraordinarily educational. I love the word clever. I'm going to make sure I use it tomorrow because I'm going to forget it, but I'm going to use it tomorrow. But I loved it. Thanks so much, Chris. Enjoy your day.
Great to be with you.
Take care.